Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got an Israel-Palestine update. We're using liveuamap.com for the information on this. So everything you see on here pertaining to this will be information pertaining to this actual website. Let's get straight into troops. Welcome back. Don't forget to join the Telegram below and all of that good stuff. So a few seconds ago, MDA says one person moderately hurt by rocket shrapnel in Holland. And that is right next to the coast again. So moderately hurt by rocket shrapnel in Holland. I don't think that will be necessarily from the Navy ships close to the coast there. I don't think rockets have got a distance, or the rockets that they're using anyway. I think that'll be from ground forces. Interceptions over Tel Aviv, also interceptions reported over Jerusalem. No reports of injuries or damages in the coordinated attack from Gaza on Israel's two largest cities. Tel Aviv is a fantastic city. Been there, had the pleasure of spending some time there. It's a wonderful, wonderful city, and I couldn't imagine actually being there with the thought of rockets going overhead. Although it was in part of the intelligence briefs that we had, it's not something that you would ever expect to happen, guys, okay? It's just like it's a fantastic place to just even think that this stuff goes on over there. Quite literally fries my brain, okay? It's crazy. But this is where those interceptions happened. Yeah. So 19 minutes ago, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem under rocket attack. So the way the time frame of this is going is these rockets, I believe, were intercepted, guys, if that's making any sense. In fact, so that's where they were intercepted from, and the last one was where we just seen the rockets being sent from. So the president of the Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed, spoke by phone with Israeli Prime Minister regarding the war in Gaza. I would love to know what that conversation went down as. So I couldn't find any information on that phone call specifically, but what I have found is the phone call that Benjamin Netanyahu had with Joe Biden. Now, the very beginning part, I thought this was actually a meme because it wasn't responding with anything from Joe. So I was thinking, oh, this is just basically implying that Joe hasn't got a clue, effectively. But let's see what you think.
Hello, Joe.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it's trying times. We've had better days, and we'll have better days. Mr. President Joe, I want to thank you for your continued and unequivocal support and the work of your entire administration to support us. Joe, I want to give you a clear picture of the difficult situation we face. We were struck Saturday by an attack whose savagery I can say we have not seen since the Holocaust. I mean, we had hundreds massacred, families wiped out in their beds and their homes, women brutally raped and murdered, over 100 kidnapped, including children. And since we last spoke, the extent of this evil, it's only gotten worse. They took dozens of children, bound them up, burned them, and executed them. They beheaded soldiers. They mowed down these youngsters who came to a nature festival and just, like put 5 jeeps around a depression in the soil, and like Babi Yar, they mowed them down, making sure that they killed everybody. We've never seen such savagery in the history of the state, and they're even worse than ISIS. They're even worse than ISIS. And
Wow, that's quite a hard listen, to be honest with you, when you hear him putting it into that kind of context. But I'll try and find the phone call President of the Emirates said with his phone call. That would be really, really interesting, guys. So that's being said there. Dubai, fantastic place. Abu Dhabi, that phone call was from. Where is Dubai, actually? Can't find it. Right, anyway, so Hezbollah, we destroyed Israeli surveillance cameras along the Lebanese border. Hezbollah. So we destroyed Israeli surveillance cameras along the Lebanese border. So let's have a look here. So, yeah, I mean, surveillance equipment, surveillance cameras, whether or not they're going to be too pertinent to the actual overall security within that area is yet to be seen, but that could be effectively just a couple of cameras on the street that they've destroyed. So nothing much we're getting out of that there. Iran FM had separate phone calls with Tunisia, Malaysia and Pakistan, stressing the need to immediately stop Israeli attacks on Gaza. He said the time for political solution is running out and the possibility expansion of the war in other fronts has neared an inevitable stage. So we've got, you know, country leaders now stressing that if this doesn't stop, there's going to be spill out from it. Now, my take on it is you've got a lot of these countries who support one another, okay? You've got effectively how it's going to end up splitting is you're going to have the Arab states, the Arab countries, predominantly Islamic, in support of Palestine, Gaza. You're going to have the Western countries supporting Israel. It's how it is forming. You can see that on the news straight away. And that's the big worry for me, because we're going to have a split yet again. We just have to look at even Britain. If you look at the split right now, we are seeing on the news in Britain that this is actually spilling out from Israel into the United Kingdom. We had massive protests in the streets of London, again furthering the divide of certain communities within the United Kingdom. And we're supposed to be a multicultural, diverse nation, and you know, we've got people protesting each other, wanting to hurt each other. We've got threats left, right in Chelsea, and it's just it's really scary that this is spilling out into all of these other states, which, you know, arguably it wouldn't have had this not happened. So I really do worry about the global divide. And this is when people think, well, religion's got nothing to do with it. It's got everything to do with it, really, because, you know, you're going to have one guy supporting his guys and the other guy supporting theirs. It's how it works, okay? And that's the unfortunate part of this. I just don't want the divide to spread out on a global reach, but it is, and that's when I think things really do spill out of control. If we look at this, right, when you were in World War II, World War One, the people didn't know that they were actually in World War One. They didn't walk around going, well, you know, it's World War One, that's why all of this is happening. People didn't walk around during World War Two going, well, you know, it's World War Two, isn't it? That's why this is all happening. Just like right now, we're talking about loads of different things, but nobody's saying, yeah, but it's, you know, we're in a global war. This is why it's happening, okay? It's just something we have to accept. It'll not be till 30, 40 years from now that we'll have an understanding, and we'll look back and it'll be classified probably as World War III when you look at all of the countries that potentially could get involved in this. And I've already mentioned in another video how China kind of has a bit of a, I'm not going to say an influence, but they definitely will be watching all of this unfold. If you look at Taiwan, what would be their greatest reasons to be able to invade there? Well, firstly, they want America to be depleted, or, you know, going down that road of depletion militarily. So how can they do that? Well, they want them to be fighting or supporting multiple war fronts within certain areas, and then that would be the time to strike and take that. So that's another area for concern that we're looking at. And you think, well, if that happens, we truly would be in somewhat of a world war situation, okay? You've got all of the Middle Eastern countries at loggerheads with each other, and it's all directed towards the West, and the West's got problems with Middle East now because certain areas is threatening to turn off the oil taps and stuff. It's really becoming out of control pretty quick. And Ukraine was the start of that, okay? I think Ukraine was the start of that potential global war. Anyway, we digress massively, as we always do on here, troops. UNRWA received reports that yesterday a group of people with trucks purporting to be from the Ministry of Health of the de facto authorities in Gaza removed fuel and medical equipment from the agency's compound in Gaza City, so they're not even allowing them to have those provisions there. One killed after being shot by security forces near the city of Hebron. Have I been to Hebron? It's near the West Bank. I can't remember. It rings a bell though. Now, the White House, the Egyptian side, wants to ensure the entry of aid through the Rafah crossing. Yeah, the Rafah crossing is a difficult one. We've seen pictures and stuff coming out of the Rafah crossing with loads of different medical provisions in place, but whether or not it's allowed to get through effectively is still up for grabs as far as I'm concerned. Lebanese army 20 missile launchers were found, 4 of which carried missiles prepared for launch. And Assad and Putin in a phone call discussed ways to stop Israeli attack at Gaza and a need to deliver humanitarian aid immediately. Yeah, okay, fair one. They've mentioned that, Assad and Putin, but Putin needs to worry about his own. He's got his own problems, hasn't he? The man's trying to act like interventionist. Like, yeah, you've got other problems to deal with, buddy. Let's sort Russia and Ukraine out first, yeah? Let's give people their land back. Bombing on West Rafah, south of Gaza Strip. Image here. Pretty big explosion, that, to be honest with you. Although you can't really tell because of the background. But bombing West Rafah. Yeah, we can see, and that's one of the problems where the fact that you're going to try to get military provisions through this place via Egypt is going to be pretty tough, all right? Israeli government water supplies have been restored to Bani Sayed near Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. Thank goodness, because innocent individuals should not be starving to death and should not be dying of thirst. Israel has not resumed water supplies to Gaza and residents are drinking unsafe water. So we've got conflicting information there, guys. Again, this is going to be one of those, this is going to be going on for a long time. I think we're going to be seeing over the next coming weeks and months, we're going to be seeing disturbing images and commentary with regards to the humanitarian crisis on both sides, okay? We're going to be seeing people who are quite literally dying because they haven't got clean water and they haven't got food, okay, which is a bloody shame. The arrival of the US aircraft carrier Gerald Ford off the coast of Israel. This is, I mean, do not be fooled. These aircraft carriers that the United States have a massive capability, okay? One of these things are phenomenal. Infiltration by armed elements in the town of Metula, near the border with Lebanon. Ashdod under rocket attack, just on the coast there. New Israeli raids on the Gaza Strip. Air raids, I believe that is. Airstrike in northern Gaza. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so we didn't see it itself, we just saw the aftermath of that, guys. Secretary Blinken will meet the Israeli Defense Minister Gallant and opposition leader Lapid in Israel today, in addition to his meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Herzog, according to the US official. Now, European Union Foreign Policy Commissioner, human suffering cannot be a bargaining chip. So right, man. Airstrike in Al-Nafak. It was about 4 hours ago, this, I believe. So again, we're going to see the aftermath of that. Hamas says it launched rockets into Tel Aviv. No sirens sounded, but a large blast was heard as a rocket possibly landed in the sea. One thing what we do know is the rockets that were sent to Tel Aviv have been intercepted, I believe, by the Iron Dome, which is quite an amazing bit of kit and equipment. Israeli military spokesperson, we have strengthened our forces on our northern borders and we will respond firmly and forcefully to every operation against us. So the mean business, guys. Now, Egypt, what's coming out of here? Egyptian foreign minister, the Israeli government has not even taken a position that allows the opening of the Rafah crossing from the Gaza side, which is worrying if you think about it, guys. That border does need to be open. to allow the safe passage of humans who need it, and especially to get aid into that country as well. That's going to be one of these problems, guys. Politics is always going to interfere in that regard. Going to cut the video short there because I think I've paused some of the parts that I shouldn't have, so I'm going to check that back and get this video released to you guys. Hopefully you appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop a link in the comments below for the algorithm. Join our Telegram, and if you want to support the channel, Patreon is there. But I'll see you in the very next video. I'll see you later, troops.